Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the mind-bending universe of Dr. Michio Kaku. We're talking reality, the cosmos, and the actual future of human destiny. We're looking at a guy who spent the last 71 years, literally ever since he was an 8-year-old kid, building an atom smasher in his garage, trying to finish Albert Einstein's final uncompleted dream. It's a massive topic for sure, but we're going to break it all down for you.
We've got an incredible journey mapped out today. We're covering the illusion of reality, the theory of everything, black holes and alien life, AI and quantum computing, and finally, the future of human destiny. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The Illusion of Reality. Why your senses are lying to you.
So, to really wrap our heads around the universe, we first have to challenge what's sitting right in front of us. Is reality just an illusion? Dr. Kaku points out something wild. We only actually see this tiny, itsy-bitsy sliver of the electromagnetic spectrum. We are completely blind to realities floating right through us, like ultraviolet light, infrared radiation, and cosmic rays. We go through life assuming our eyes are giving us the whole picture of the universe, but really, our everyday reality is essentially just a survival-based illusion. It's a partial fiction designed specifically for our biological needs.
And this brilliantly illustrates why our brains evolved this way. Evolution literally gave our senses a hyperactive overdrive. We project threats that don't even exist because, hey, the one time out of 10 that there actually is a tiger in those bushes, that paranoia saves your life. Your senses aren't there to show you the absolute, objective truth of the cosmos. They just construct a partial fiction simply to keep us alive.
Now, because our senses can be so easily fooled, a lot of people wonder, wait, are we actually living inside a computer simulation? Philosopher Nick Bostrom poses 3 theories. Either human civilizations wipe themselves out before getting that advanced, or advanced beings just don't care to simulate us, or, mathematically, we are currently living in a fake universe. But Dr. Kaku, he offers a 4th option. It's a fairy tale. Why? Because the idea of a pre-written, simulated script completely violates the very laws of quantum probability. The universe is based on probabilistic events. Think uranium firing or hydrogen fusing, not on some computer's deterministic code. There's no script.
Section 2. The Theory of Everything. Reading the Mind of God.
Okay, so if it's not a simulation, what is the actual base layer of the universe? Figuring that out brings us to Einstein's final unfinished dream. Dr. Kaku's entire life work revolves around this concept of string theory. For decades, the holy grail of physics has been to unify the 4 fundamental forces, gravity, electromagnetism, and the 2 nuclear forces, into a single 1-inch equation. An equation so elegant it would allow us to literally read the mind of God, as Einstein put it. And the foundation of this theory fundamentally changes how we view matter itself.
For a long time, we used these massive atom smashers and found hundreds of subatomic particles, electrons, protons, neutrinos. It seemed incredibly messy, like it was almost malicious of Mother Nature to make things so ridiculously complicated. But string theory says, hang on, these aren't hundreds of random tiny point particles. Instead, nature is elegantly simple. It's just one string. When that microscopic string vibrates in one direction, boom, it's an electron. When it vibrates in another, it plays a different note and becomes a proton. Everything in the universe, including you and me, is simply the music played by these vibrating strings. And this elegant simplicity scales all the way up to the origin of everything. We've all heard of the Big Bang, right? But where did it actually come from? Well, according to string theory, empty space isn't empty at all. It froths with tiny bubbles. Usually, these bubbles pop into existence and then annihilate right back into the vacuum. But roughly 14 billion years ago, one bubble decided to keep expanding rather than collapsing. That expansion is what we call our Big Bang. And if you follow this logic, it means our universe is just one expanding soap bubble floating in an 11-dimensional multiverse bubble bath. It's mind-blowing.
Section 3. Black Holes and Alien Life. Exploring the Cosmic Unknown.
With our perspective widened like that, we have to look up and ask some of the most profound questions about our cosmic neighbors. Mainly, are we alone in the universe? It's the ultimate question. Despite all the recent declassified UFO footage, which Kaku notes mostly just shows lights dancing in the sky without a real smoking gun, he states that the probability of life existing elsewhere is, mathematically speaking, almost 100%. 100 billion. Let that sink in. That is the staggering number of stars in our Milky Way galaxy alone. And out of those, perhaps 10% host Earth-like planets. With those kinds of numbers, the idea that we are the only living beings in this vast expanse is incredibly unlikely.
But knowing they're out there and actually going to visit them are two entirely different things. To put this into perspective, it would take a Saturn V rocket 70,000 years just to reach our nearest star system, Alpha Centauri. Because of this massive hurdle, an advanced alien civilization would need to be thousands of years ahead of us technologically, likely utilizing things like space warps, literally bending space itself, to cross those impossible distances.
And speaking of warp space, we have to talk about black holes. Every gravitational body has an escape velocity. To leave Earth, an astronaut has to travel 7 miles per second. But a black hole is so incredibly dense and warps space so extremely that its escape velocity is actually faster than the speed of light. Anything passing its event horizon never returns. But because of this intense warping, Kaku theorizes that black holes might actually be wormholes, serving as theoretical gateways to those other universes we mentioned in the bubble bath.
Section 4. AI and Quantum Computing. The Intelligence Revolution. All right, bringing our focus back down to Earth for a minute, there's a massive technological paradigm shift unfolding right now that is going to change our world overnight. Standard digital computers are painfully binary. They rely on transistors acting as simple on and off switches, ones and zeros. But quantum computers, they calculate on the ultimate, smallest unit of stable matter. Atoms. Because an atom can exist in an infinite number of states between 0 and 1 simultaneously, quantum computers are going to be exponentially more powerful. They are so powerful, in fact, that the CIA is genuinely worried they could soon break literally any digital code on Earth, putting global banking and even cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin in serious jeopardy. Alongside quantum computing, we're facing the rapid evolution of artificial intelligence. Dr. Kaku maps out a very distinct trajectory here. Currently, AI is kind of like an insect. It follows basic orders but isn't truly creative. But it's going to evolve to the intelligence of a mouse, then a dog or cat, and eventually a monkey. Once AI reaches monkey-level intelligence, it becomes self-aware, it can plot, and it becomes potentially dangerous. So what's Kaku's proposed solution? Before we reach a full-blown crisis, humanity's best path forward is step 5, physically merging with our technology, becoming superhuman to ensure we remain the masters of our own tools.
Section 5. The Future of Human Destiny. The Ultimate Knife's Edge.
Looking at humanity's path forward, we see that every single decade brings both staggering progress and, frankly, unprecedented existential risk. Let's look at biology for a second. Immortality's tantalizingly close. At the ends of our chromosomes are telomeres, and they act as biological clocks that fray and shorten until we age and die. But scientists discovered telomerase, an enzyme that stops this clock, essentially allowing cells to live forever. The tragic catch, however, is that cancer uses this exact same mechanism to become immortal. The ultimate puzzle medicine is trying to solve right now is how to apply this to humans without waking up the cancers. We have this incredible biological potential, we have AI, we have quantum computing. As Dr. Kaku explains, we are sitting right on a knife's edge. For the first time in the history of our species, we have the tools to completely destroy ourselves through designer germs, nuclear weapons, or rogue AI. Tilt the knife one way, and society collapses. But tilt it the other way, we cure disease, achieve longevity, and colonize Mars and beyond. It is absolutely entirely up to us which way that knife tilts. When searching for the meaning behind all of this, the science, the survival, the immense cosmic scale, Dr. Kaku beautifully reminds us that as a physicist, he doesn't see a grand, predefined meaning assigned to the universe. In a reality governed by quantum probabilities and vibrating strings, meaning isn't handed to us from the top down. We build it ourselves. We are the architects of our own purpose. As we navigate the vastness of the 11-dimensional multiverse and stand on the frontiers of world-altering technology, take away this empowering truth. The purpose of reality is whatever you decide it is. So as we face the future on this knife's edge, I'll leave you with this question. If we are the ones who write the universe's meaning, what story will you choose to write? Thanks for joining us on this explainer, and keep looking up.